someone says I'm a feminist artist, I would say yes, I am. It's not the topic that I always consider when I'm working on a story. Right now I'm working on a completely different story that has nothing to do with feminism. But for Penelope, surely it was definitely the case. I wanted to put a case forward to the audience. If you read this story, what do you think? What feelings does it generate inside you? What does it make you reflect on? I wanted to talk about a woman having to choose between being a mother and her profession, because in my life and in my surroundings, men had interesting careers, they traveled a lot, it was taken for granted, and I never knew a woman who traveled a lot which was taken for granted for her work. So I was quite interested in this tension between being a mother and wanting to work and wanting to travel and deciding what is more important in your life, what defines you most. Working with oppositions, I wrote down a few words: male-female contrast, but also science-art contrast, because these oppositions that we have in our minds, maybe they are not so opposed as we think they are. And so I gave Penelope an extremely scientific, male-driven profession, which is surgeon. She's a surgeon, which is very male-dominated. It's very precise, and it's very, very scientific. And then you have the husband, who is like Homer, a poet, who is a very caring person. He's the husband, he's a man who cares, who takes care of the daughter. So you have this opposition of art, science, caring, not caring, man, female. So I was trying to strengthen the opposition so that the story becomes more dramatic in a way.
Yes, he takes care of her. I'm sure that if the situation were the opposite, you would have never asked. My grandfather was always gone, saving the world, and it got him an honorary degree, you know? And no, he didn't look after his children. And yes, he loved them. I'm proud of my grandfather, because they needed him there, not here. I think I have nothing else to tell you.
The Museum of Comics of Brussels, there is an exhibition about the comics of Le Louvre. They have been inviting comic artists for 20 books now, and I'm the first woman. I'm very sad that I'm the first woman, but I'm extremely proud to be this woman. So it's a very double feeling. And I think there you can really make a difference, because then it's extremely highbrow. It's high level. Le Louvre is really this bastion of bourgeois art, I would say. But I think it's really important that they include women there. I am in the exhibition because I'm working on a comic right now. So there is no finished pages, but they show the work in progress. So they show the sketches, they show my table. I'm making a book about the Cycladic art. It's a Bronze Age society with very pure, beautiful art. So the whole process of how you make a book, how do you make a comic, how do you start? What is the research you do? is exhibited in a small room at the end of the exhibition. When I started as an artist, I first studied comics. There was no woman. We were 2 girls in the class, but it was completely male-dominated, completely. There was one cartoonist, Inge Heremans, Ila, but there was no one. There was nothing. And so I got a lot of attention because I am a woman. It was very difficult to find comics that interested me. Then Marjane Satrapi published her books, so that for me was a complete mind-blowing eye-opener. That was my biggest role model, Marjane Satrapi with Persepolis. And so the first book I made was in autobiographical black and white, just because that was my role model. And then, okay, then you grow and you start to see other things and you start to know your profession better, and then I changed to color, and then I found my own way. I have only been realizing for 2 years that young people consider me a role model. I teach in Lucca School of Arts, I teach comics, and I see students starting to make watercolors, drawing a bit sketchy, the way I do things. So what I am trying very hard to do at the moment is I'm drawing digital, not sketchy. I'm trying to find other roads because they make me see, I have a way of doing things, maybe I should change. So it's a kind of interaction also. I hope that they have plenty of role models that are extremely different so that they can combine and that they can find their own way of storytelling. So role models, even at the level not only of female role models, but in general, it's so important. It's very difficult to invent yourself.